Hello and welcome. So we are moving on to sectioning, but this time around we're doing assembly. So this video will be a little long because we're gonna go deeply into packing up and sectioning. So I'll do the assembly part first and then we'll do the sectioning after. Hence I'm saying this video will be a little long, but stick with me. Let's go. So we're having a pulley. These are pulley pots. And we're going to put these parts together into one solid part or one drawing per se. So now I'll quickly copy these to the side. Remember, these is normally done on A3 page. I'm just going to do it on this page that I'm already given. So on the side, there's the layout. There's the final product that I want. So let's just delete this for now, or rather move it away so that it doesn't disturb me. That was for practice. So, okay. Now, I want to copy this, guys, to the side. Also copy this, guys. Copy those guys. Let's start with building one side, which is this side. Okay, now over here our guide is dimensions. So dimensions should be our guide in order to see what fits in where and how. Okay, and also we're going to apply the logic that we learned in manufacturing. Yes, where we have to deal with washers and bolts and nuts, all of those. Now you can see this holding, it says it's 30 radius, and then we're gonna go and look what else is 30 radius over here. What else is 30 radius? I'm looking for radius 30, which is 60, by the way, which is diameter 60, meaning that this guy will go and fit over there. Now, just a simple method that I'm going to use. Just going to copy also this guy. Just going to put him there. Now, I could have done this over here, but the space and you see, like I said, it's normally done on A3. Hence why I'm copying out these parts. Okay. And I do not want to delete the dimensions on the other side because it's going to be my guide when I am stuck. Okay, so for that we need the bush. Notice now also from the previous exercises that we had, these are different materials, different parts. As you can see, there's a base. Probably the base is made of steel. The bush is made of a different material. The axle is a different material. The bush again. As you can see, there's a long bush and there's a bush. So these are washers and these are fasteners, and there's a pulley. So now, unless you're told that they're the same material, then you'll notice what's gonna happen. Now, all I want to do is I want to put up these parts together. Okay. Now I'm gonna start by adding my washers onto the shaft. I mean the axle. Sorry. Yes. We're gonna start by looking at the diameter. So over here we have 24 and over here we have 28. And if we could look at this guy, we have 24 and we have 28 on the same axle. So meaning that those fasteners will all end on this axle. Okay, so meaning that the 28 will be onto this part here at the top, this part that I'm highlighting, and the 24 will be on this part. Okay, now this is the 28. Start with the 28. Now the 28, I'm gonna go and put him over here. Okay, notice when you put him, it just fits perfectly. It tells you that this was a hole slightly waiting for that guy. Okay, now we got that one, and then now we can fit in the bush into the bush. Okay, notice now the snaps in the situation are very much important, because notice I am holding snap to snap. Okay, and then now you could see that this is where this guy will go in. This is the 24 diameter. So I'm just gonna go copy. I am copying from the midpoint of them, okay, to this midpoint, because it must come and close over there. Okay, now cool, great. Now meaning that these we will no longer have them. Okay, now meaning that this guy can go inside that bush, no problem. Now meaning that we can move this guy. Notice I'm gonna pick him up from anywhere, which gives you a midpoint. Oops, sorry. I want to move. Now I go and move to the midpoint of this drawing, which is that guy. You see how it fits perfectly well inside? Now we're having this guy, we're having that guy. We can go and delete. Okay, now we're having this guy as 60. 60 goes on to 60, but we know must go on to there. But what is this? What is the diameter of that? The diameter of that is how much? Is 40, meaning that before the 40 we have this guy, which is diameter 40 as well, which is the bush again. So meaning that the pulley will run on top of the bush. Okay, now notice I'm also gonna pick him up from there. In this case, guys, snaps are very, very important. You should not assume unless the snap confirms that you're picking up the thing from the actual point that you must pick it up from. Now I'm gonna go to move again. Notice I don't have a snap that I can rely on, but I have this as a midpoint, and obviously I must come and find my midpoint. And like that, we can go and take our nut. Okay, now I will be using this nut for the entire exercises. I'm just gonna enlarge it where I have to, or reduce it where I have to. Now onto the nut, it also had hidden details to show you that there was a hole there. Okay, now the assembly onto this view is complete, but I will not trim. Okay, yes, I will trim it and then we can make it complete. Now onto this axle, onto this pulley, I'll remove over there, also remove there, also remove there, I'll also remove over there, I'll also remove here, And this is the washer. We cannot have a washer running on top of her. I mean, we cannot be seeing what's happening inside a washer, right? Over here, we're gonna go and remove everything because now that's hidden on the inside. Over here, that's hidden there. Whatever's happening here should be gone. Onto there, onto here, and these ones, and these as well must be gone, and these as well must be gone. Now notice we are still in sectioning, and sectioning, the rules of sectioning says that you must not have any hidden details onto your drawing. So I'll safely remove those. Okay. Now looking for this side, looking at this side is now complete in terms of the assembly. Now we can jump to this side as well. Now notice everything, all these bushes and washers will fall onto the back of this guy because this guy will be now in the front. Okay. Now, meaning what we could do is what we could do now is we just have the axle on the front. Now the diameter of the axle is 70, and as well, let me just go and measure what this part will be. That will be 60. So I can go and have a diameter of 70 by 60 inside, and these should be my line type 1. Okay. Now for that, I can just go and move the circle to where it should be. It should be over there. Oops, sorry. Should be over here. And this diameter we can delete. This one we can delete. And this should be moved to there at the front. So this will be the only thing that will be in the front. Now we can go and trim out everything which is happening there, having to leave us with what's only happening there. Why am I trimming out? Is because this is the front of the wheel. This is this part, right? And of course, no hidden details unless they're sectioned. And like that, that's the final view of that. Now the assembly of both drawings are complete. Now we're gonna proceed to the hatching of these guys, right? Let me just extend that. Try and move these up. I'm just gonna go leave it there. Now I want to make the hatching AA, which goes right in the middle. Okay. Now for that hatching AA, for this exercise, since it's our first exercise, I'm just gonna go and do another one. But on the next exercise, I will just I'll just complete the assembly first, and then we do the hatching on the same drawing. But on this one, I'll just do it like this. Unless you have time in the exam room just to look more professional, this way you could give out such layout. Okay, so I'm gonna take everything that will be seen from the side, such as this side view of the pulley, leave it there, the spindle as well, I'm gonna copy a spindle. I mean the axle. I don't know why I keep on referring to a spindle. The bush. The bush. The long bush. Notice I'm only taking views from the side that I only need. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there. What else? Oh, these guys. And that guy as well. Copy him. And we can start now. Okay, so remember what we did at first. So I'm just gonna put them up randomly without any, and then I'll get to delete the dimension, dimensions. Yes, hey, it's horror. So we're going to start with fitting in the bush onto there. Okay, now let's go copy. Oh no, we started with this guy, so I'll start with this guy at first. I could just say move him from the middle to where he belongs, over there. And then like that, I could just delete since I'm already zoomed in. And like that, we could delete these guys as well. Now we go to the bush, move as well from the middle, yes, to there. So I think now it's whereby you start with analyzing the drawing, putting together manufacturing and logic all in one. I think now it's the time you start needing those principles to know that if I want to tie a washer, if I want to tie a bolt, or what should I start with, you know, stuff like that. Now I'm gonna go to move, notice, okay, yes, go to move, over there, the middle of this guy, and this time is, so there you go, and that we could remove, and then lastly detachment, this guy, alright, to there, to there, and over here we are missing something on the inside, which is this guy. I don't know how I proceeded without him, and must have been there. Okay, now we could delete all these blue lines that we do not need. Okay, and that, and that. And then now I can proceed to our washers at the back. This guy, I will go and say move as well. Put in there. And this guy as well. I go move and put him away. Put him over there. And we can delete this guy. Awesome. Now, notice I said this video will be a little long. Is because I wanted to explain part by part of this drawing. Now, I'm not going to do that in the upcoming videos. Okay? Now, we're going to the sectioning now. Okay? But at the sectioning, I want to make it clear that you understand this once for all. So I'm just going to copy this part again. Okay? And we are told to section it right in the middle. Okay, this is support, this is a rib of some sort. Okay, and also this is a rib but which is cut on this side, meaning that indeed we'll have to hatch him. Now if we are hatching this guy, meaning that these guys immediately will be what? Will be line type 1. And if we're cutting it exactly in the middle, meaning that we won't have this line. Okay? And we wouldn't have this. And that as well. Be gone. Okay? And meaning that our hatch, now this is where we're gonna be playing with these hatch values, such as the angle and the hatch scale. Okay, now the default one is 1. It's written 1. Now the hatching of this one is indeed complete. Now I want us to hatch like this on this part. All right, we hatched over there, and we also hatched over here, and this guy and that guy. Okay, now meaning that this guy gets to disappear. We go to trim, we trim out this line, and we trim out this little guy there, and meaning that, bear in mind, meaning that the hatching of the base is complete. Okay, I hope that's clear. Cool. Now we proceed to the bush. Let's start with the long bush. Okay, now on the long bush, if we were to hatch this guy, so let me just go and hit copy. Let me put him here next to this guy. Okay, now if we were to hatch this guy, immediately this will be line type 1, right? And then we go to the hatch, right? Now remember, this hatch for the entire drawing belongs to the base, and we do not know the kind of material this bush and the base are, so we'll just assume they're different for this drawing. Now I'll go and change the angle. Let me just change the angle to 90. Okay, now if I change it to 90, it gives you the hatch in certain direction, right? If you can copy this, let's go and find out where this guy ends. This guy ends over there. All right, now that guy ends there. Oops, I could have just done that actually. Stop it. Now this guy ends over there. Okay, now this guy ends there, then we could delete. Notice I'm just fitting the parts on top of the ones that we already have. And then we take this bush again, we go copy. Again, this guy's already there on the drawing, but just gonna go and delete this. Now, if we were to hatch this, it's gonna be line type 1. Okay. Now, if we go to the, now I'm just gonna go and change the size of the hatching instead. I will go and say 0.5 since it's very small. So 0.05 in that direction. Go to there. Now this guy, notice 0.05 differs to 1. Okay. Now go and say, no, let me just say move. This guy should be over there, right in the middle. Okay. Right in the middle, and then we proceed to the final, the pulley itself. Now for the pulley again, we'll go and say copy. We remove these first and also remove those. Now, if you were to hash the pulley, these becomes line type 1 because there's a hole inside. Okay, now we're gonna go and clear out the pulley. Now this is a round shape, right, on the other end, and there's a hole, meaning we do not want anything that would disturb the hole. All right, now we're gonna go and slice the hole in the middle, and like that we have that. And for the hatch, this time around let's use 2 or 2.5. Yes, at an angle of 0 at the other angle. Now notice we're gonna go and remove him to the side there. And where does it go? Exactly in the middle. Now we already had these guys, so we could just go and delete because it wouldn't serve any purpose. Let's just go and delete this guy. Oopsie. Yeah. Okay, let me do this. Zoom in and just delete this. And now notice that we have, and then now we could do the cleaning up. We are not hatching. Remember the first rules that we started with, we do not hatch supports. There's a support. We do not hatch and spindle, axle, and there's an axle. We do not hatch washers. Now logical, this is the washer and spindle, and the axle, but the axle goes inside the washer, meaning we're going to delete this guy. We're not deleting because it's not there, but we're deleting it because of logic. The washer must be on top of the axle. Now over here, also same scenario. We're going to go and delete everything that's on top of the washer. Now this is a nut. We know that the axle will go inside the nut, meaning that over here we're not going to have anything. There's a continuation of the axle, and this is the continuation of the axle as well. So just like that, for this part we are done. And this what we have. We having the assembly alone looking like this, and we have the hatching looking like that, and we've achieved what we wanted. If you enjoyed till this far, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, subscribe, share, and like. Thank you. Bye bye.